Hi, this is Stacey Barr, Evidence-Based Leadership and Performance Measure Specialist. Welcome to Lesson 8 of the 10 Secrets to KPI Success training course. In Lesson 8, we're focusing on why comparing performance this month to last month means you're wrong most of the time. This is a struggle we have in performance measurement that a lot of people don't even realize is a struggle. And it's this: every month or every reporting period, explaining every up or down movement in our KPIs. Now, related to this problem is also where everyone is looking at the same KPI, looking at the same graph or the same visual presentation of it, and not agreeing on whether performance is going up or going down or staying the same. Now, the root cause for this struggle is that we're not able to discern the signals in our KPIs from the noise. We treat every up and down variation, every difference, as something that's real. This is a symptom of a very common situation where people are using statistical techniques without statistical thinking. A typical way that we interpret our KPIs and performance measures is to compare this month to last month, or this month to the same month last year, or maybe this month to a target or a standard, or we compare the year to date with some kind of annual target. Now, the problem with doing this is we can often get different answers to the very same question: what's performance doing? This month, for example, might be better than last month, but it might be worse than the same month last year, and it might be better than target, even though the year to date is behind. So you can't get agreement on what the KPI is doing. And if you can't get agreement, you don't know whether you should take action or not. And there's an interesting experiment that I do in my workshops and webcasts on this very topic. I show people a range of these typical analyses, and I ask them the question: is performance getting better, getting worse, or staying the same? Now, everyone will be looking at exactly the same data, exactly the same analysis, but I will get responses that vary greatly. Some will say it's getting better, and some will say, no, it's getting worse, and others will say it's staying the same. And interestingly enough, some will say, I have no idea. And that's not the kind of response you want when you're looking at your KPIs. It's madness. If we can't interpret our KPIs accurately and consistently, we waste a whole lot of effort in fixing things that aren't broken, and we miss a whole lot of opportunity to pick up problems early before they turn into big, costly problems. Statistical thinking helps us see signals in the noise, and all measures have noise. We need a single correct set of rules for interpreting our KPIs, and we shouldn't make them up. They're not something that we can just pluck out of thin air, even if we're consistent about them. We need to apply statistical thinking. Statistical thinking means we have to accept that everything varies naturally. There will be a certain amount of routine or normal variation in absolutely anything we measure. That routine variation is a pattern of consistent variation through time. And what we want to manage is not the up and down routine variation. We want to manage the abnormal variation, where the pattern of variation suddenly starts changing. And we need specific statistical techniques to do this. You don't have to worry about not being a numbers person though, or, I didn't go to university and study statistics. You don't need any of that. You just need a very specific chart that anyone can construct and interpret with very minimal effort. Now, in the pump workshops, I teach this special chart. It's called an XMR chart, and everybody in the workshops always understands it and correctly constructs their first one. For many, in fact, it's the first pump technique that they want to apply when they get back to work. Many people find signals in their existing performance measures that nobody had ever noticed before. Now, this appreciation of how to see signals in your data is what the 8th secret to KPI success is all about. So secret number 8 for KPI success is that we have to learn how to discern signals from the normal routine variation or noise that is present in every single KPI. we have to stop making point-to-point comparisons. We have got to stop comparing this month to last month or this month to a target. You can start putting Secret 8 of KPI success into action if you take one of your existing KPIs or performance measures and put its values into a time series chart. You want to take some historic data too, for example, maybe 2 years worth of monthly values in the chart, and then just look at the chart. How would you describe the normal amount of routine variation that's in that KPI? Can you see any deviations away from the routine variation or the pattern of variability? Any variations that would suggest a signal? And how would you interpret your KPI when you have the context of that historical data? And when you have an understanding that routine variation is absolutely normal and okay, then you realize you only need to look at the patterns and show a deviation from that. Then join me for lesson 9 in the 10 secrets to KPI success, and we'll dig into the idea that there's no leverage for reaching KPI targets in treating symptoms.